Most of you will recognize this as a 2-inch standard trailer hitch. And some of you are going to recognize it as a major problem. I'm going to show you what I'm doing to correct this problem, so stick around. Now, when I say the 2-inch ball hitch is a problem, I'm going to make my point. This is the standard 2-inch ball hitch. Everybody is familiar with it. It's used widely. The first patent on this hitch was in 1915. They made a few improvements over the years, and there was a second patent issued in 1934. That is significant because it wasn't until 1940 that the War Department put out a request for a combat vehicle. And in 1941, they started producing that vehicle and gave it for the war effort. Well, after the war, there was such a popularity for that vehicle and a big demand that they made a civilian version of that vehicle that we now know as the Jeep Wrangler. So in 1934, when they improved this hitch, they never dreamed that people would be driving through a field or just driving through the woods with no road. So the ball socket hitch was never intended to be off-road. Because of that, you need a 360-degree articulating hitch if you're going to take any type of a trailer off-road. Some manufacturers today still build and market what they call an off-road camper, but if you look at the front, it's got a ball socket hitch on it. So you immediately have to change the hitch to make it work off-road. Now, we did a lot of research on different articulating hitches. There's a lot of good ones out there, but we chose Lock and Roll. It's an American company in Illinois. They've been producing their Lock and Roll hitch. It's a 360-degree articulating hitch for a very long time. And it's gained a lot of popularity, and it's gaining every day because it's simple, it's not complicated, it's all American made, there's very few parts to it. So it can be repaired in an emergency by anybody until you can get parts from Illinois. You don't have to send to Australia to get a weird part for one of their hitches. So I converted my Cricket to an articulating hitch for that very reason. It goes off-road, and there's many times when we get in off-camber situations where we have a wheel hanging in the air. So the 2-inch ball hitch does not work for that application. Now, anytime that you do a conversion of that type, you need to seek out a certified welder, a professional welding shop. They weld every day. They're extremely good at it. They offer a lot of different options from Lock and Roll. You can get just the standard hitch, or you can get one that's fully adjustable. I chose to go with the fully adjustable hitch because I may put a lift kit on the Jeep. I may not. I may decide to lift the Cricket. So I've got a lot of adjustment options with that adjusting hitch. And I'm going to show you pictures and show in detail how that works. So the first step is let's get this hitch off of here and start the process. This process begins with the removal of the existing hitch. To do this, they use a plasma cutter, and it's very careful to cut through the welds that are already there. So you have to be very precise as this is a very powerful tool. Now that the existing hitch is removed, you can see here's the frame rails just sticking out with no hitch. Now the process will begin of installation. On the installation, it's very careful to not overheat the steel. This is why you need an experienced welder. They have to be very careful not to overheat the steel as they weld it to make sure they don't take any of the temper out of the steel, which would actually weaken it. And they take their time. That's again why you need a certified welder. Here is the completed hitch installed. Another beautiful job. Looking forward to trying this one out. Now that the process is complete, everything is ready to go. We're getting ready for a trip to Oregon and do some off-roading. We're gonna get some wheels hanging in the air. That's for sure. So I'll keep you updated with what is the progress on that hitch and how well it performs. Now that we're back from our trip from Oregon, I can say I've put about 800 miles on this hitch, and it has performed beyond my expectations. In fact, there was a few things I noticed about the hitch that I was pleasantly surprised. With a ball hitch, if you're going down the road and you cross a rough cattle crossing or a railroad crossing, you can feel the trailer pulling and tugging against you. It's fighting you. With this hitch, there was absolutely none of that. In fact, on the interstate at 70 miles an hour, it was just as smooth as silk. I was pleasantly surprised. None of that tugging effect. The reason it does that, I found out, is there's 3 different pivot points. And that tug motion is actually sent out through all those 3 different points, so you don't even feel it. Off-road, absolutely fabulous. With the water crossing, we had some tires, hanging in the air, getting very twisty. No problem. The hitch performed fantastic. I'm so pleased I converted to this articulating hitch. And the lock and roll, I'm so impressed with that hitch. I can now say that without a shadow of a doubt, the lock and roll hitch is the official hitch for Base Camp 1. I will not tow with a different hitch. No matter what trailer I pull, I will be converting it to the lock and roll. I believe in it that much. They don't pay me for that endorsement. They don't sponsor this channel or nothing. I'm telling you the truth. The lock and roll is the way to go. So, if you have a trailer, a teardrop, or a big trailer that you pull off-road, you need to go to an articulating hitch. And I highly recommend you go to Lock and Roll first. See what they can offer you at their price point, and then see what else is available from overseas. And see what kind of shipping costs and that type of thing. So, the Lock and Roll is 100% approved for Base Camp 1. So, there's articulating hitches. So, thanks for watching.